Welcome to the deep dive. You're here because you recognize that understanding the dynamics of food and agriculture M&A requires more than just headlines. You're looking for a real edge, the kind of insight that informs strategic moves for investors and shapes the future for industry leaders. That's precisely what we're aiming for in this deep dive.
Exactly. We're going to try and cut through the surface level information and get into the core of what's driving mergers and acquisitions in the food and agriculture sectors, specifically looking at the Polish market through the lens of, well, expert advisory.
And that expert lens today belongs to M2G, a transaction advisory company with a singular focus, the Polish food and agriculture market. We'll be drawing on materials you shared, which detail M2G's extensive involvement in this sector actually since 2010. This should give us a really grounded perspective on the current M&A landscape.
Yeah, and what's immediately apparent when you look at M2G is their deep specialization. I mean, unlike firms that cover a broad range of industries, their entire focus is on Polish food and agri. So what's the real impact of this, dedicated approach?
Well, it strikes me that such a laser focus must provide a level of insight that generalist firms simply can't match, right? The Polish food and agriculture sectors, they operate with their own specific rhythms, regulatory environments, and competitive pressures.
Precisely. And think about, say, the current impact of the EU's Green Deal. In the Polish agri-sector, this is driving a wave of consolidation, as smaller players seek the resources to meet new environmental standards. M2G's intimate understanding of these specific Polish and EU regulations becomes incredibly valuable in structuring these often complex transactions, something a broader firm might not fully grasp.
Okay, that makes sense. So if you're an investor eyeing potential acquisitions within the Polish food and agriculture space, how does M2G's specialization translate into tangible support during the acquisition process?
Well, their involvement starts with identifying targets that aren't just available, but strategically aligned with your investment thesis. They seem to go beyond surface-level data to understand your specific objectives and pinpoint opportunities that genuinely fit your long-term goals within the Polish context. It's really about strategic matchmaking, not just deal sourcing.
Right, right. You want to avoid the trap of expending resources on deals that don't truly, move the needle strategically. What about the initial outreach engaging a seller's interest? That can be a delicate phase.
Yeah, and they emphasize a very discreet approach here, carefully examining a potential target's openness to discussions while maintaining strict confidentiality. This is paramount, obviously, for preventing market speculation and protecting both the buyer's and seller's interests. Then, following that initial delicate dance, they move to preparing preliminary valuations and outlining the framework of a non-binding offer. This gives you a crucial early benchmark and helps shape realistic expectations for both parties.
Now, let's maybe flip that. Consider the perspective of a business owner in the Polish food or agriculture sector who might be contemplating a sale. How does M2G assist them in navigating that process to achieve the best possible outcome?
This is where their deep immersion in the sector really shines, I think. They assist in crafting a compelling equity story, articulating the unique value proposition and future growth potential of the business in a way that resonates with the most relevant pool of buyers. They also develop tailored strategies focused specifically on maximizing transaction value. Their understanding of the Polish market's nuances directly informs how that value is articulated and to whom.
Value maximization is, of course, paramount for any seller. How do they help a business owner understand their company's worth in the current Polish market? Is it just a gut feeling?
No, definitely not. They provide internal valuations, giving the seller a clear and realistic understanding of their company's market value before they even go to market. This ensures they're negotiating from a position of strength and knowledge. Beyond that crucial step, they manage the often burdensome process of preparing all the necessary transaction-related documents, from NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, to the comprehensive information memorandum, and setting up a secure virtual data room for due diligence.
Wow, that sounds like a significant undertaking, handling all that documentation. What about identifying and connecting with the right potential buyers for a Polish food or agribusiness? That seems critical.
Absolutely critical. M2G develops a highly targeted transaction strategy and then leverages their extensive network, we'll probably talk more about that network later, to identify and directly contact the investors most likely to have a strategic interest in the specific type of business being offered. This isn't a broadcasting approach. It's about connecting the right sellers with the right, often very discreet buyers.
Yeah. And once those potential buyers are engaged, the due diligence phase, that can be quite intensive, can't it? How does M2G support their clients through that scrutiny?
Yeah, it can be rough. They act as a central coordinator for the entire due diligence process, managing the flow of information, trying to anticipate potential roadblocks, and ensuring a smooth and efficient exchange between the buyer and seller and their respective advisors. Their deep understanding of the common due diligence focus areas within the Polish food and agri sectors is invaluable here, and their involvement doesn't just stop there. They continue to manage the overall transaction process, including providing expert consultation and negotiation support on the share purchase agreement, the SPA.
So it's clear they are deeply involved in the entire life cycle of a deal. But their expertise extends beyond just facilitating transactions, doesn't it? The materials you shared highlight their market knowledge and capabilities in financial structuring as well.
Indeed. Their specialization allows them to develop truly in-depth analyses of competitive dynamics within specific subsectors of the Polish food and agriculture market. They can advise on optimal market entry strategies for, say, international players looking at Poland, conduct detailed profitability studies for potential investment projects, and even provide objective independent business reviews. This level of strategic intelligence, rooted in their deep Polish market experience, is invaluable for making informed decisions.
So it's not just about deals, it's about providing a broader strategic understanding of the Polish food and agri landscape. And the financial structuring aspect sounds particularly relevant for investors. How does their understanding of the Polish financial environment benefit their clients?
Well, they possess a nuanced understanding of the operational standards of local financial institutions and the specific investment preferences of private equity and other investors active in the Polish food and agri space. This enables them to advise on the most effective financing structures for various scenarios, whether it's securing acquisition finance or leveraged finance for a strategic purchase, arranging CapEx or project finance for expansion, or even navigating refinancing and debt restructuring within the Polish context. They really seem to bridge the gap between industry realities and financial possibilities. For instance, I recall reading about a recent acquisition of a significant Polish food processor where their understanding of the local lending landscape was crucial in securing favorable leveraged finance terms, allowing the deal to proceed effectively.
Okay, so we've outlined the scope of M2G's services. What truly distinguishes them in the specific and, let's face it, competitive market? The materials point to several key differentiators.
Yes, and these are critical for understanding their value proposition, I think. Firstly, as we've mentioned, they are apparently the only independent transaction advisory firm in Poland exclusively focused on the food and agriculture sector. This singular focus isn't just a sideline, it's their core expertise, built over years of dedicated experience in the Polish market.
That deep immersion must translate into a significant advantage when navigating the intricacies of deals in this space, doesn't it?
Absolutely. They emphasize their long-standing direct relationships with key decision-makers across the Polish food and agri-market relationships, built and nurtured over more than 2 decades. That kind of network provides invaluable access and insight when you're navigating complex, often sensitive transactions. They also maintain up-to-the-minute knowledge of the specific dynamics within various subsectors, informed by direct interactions with both Polish and international market participants. This kind of real-time understanding of market movements is a significant asset.
And their knowledge isn't just theoretical, it's grounded in practical experience, I understand.
Precisely. Their team brings a blend of transactional and operational experience gained not only from advising on deals, but also from actually holding management roles within food and agriculture companies themselves. This hands-on perspective provides a level of commercial insight that maybe purely advisory firms might lack. They've been there.
The materials also highlight their network of international contacts. How does that benefit clients focused on the Polish market, whether they are domestic or international players?
Good point. Their established collaborations with leading advisors in the global food industry provide their clients with access to a broader network of potential partners, investors, and market intelligence across Europe and beyond. So for Polish companies with international ambitions, or for international players seeking opportunities in Poland, this global reach is invaluable. They can discreetly gauge the interest of foreign strategic and financial investors in Polish assets, facilitating cross-border transactions with a deep understanding of both sides.
That ability to bridge international and local interests seems particularly valuable in today's interconnected market. What about their operational approach? How do they actually deliver these services? Is it like a big bureaucratic machine?
It seems not. Their operational model is designed for efficiency, discretion, and a high level of client service. They emphasize a hands-on approach from their senior team, ensuring deep involvement at every stage. Confidentiality is treated as paramount, as it absolutely should be in these sensitive transactions. They pride themselves on immediate responsiveness, recognizing the time-sensitive nature of deal-making, and ensure a prompt and consistent flow of information. All underpinned by rigorous procedures, but apparently without the cumbersome bureaucracy that can sometimes hinder larger organizations.
It sounds like a very agile and client-centric approach. Now let's briefly touch on the individuals who lead M2G. The materials introduce Marek and Maciej Bąkałek. Knowing who's behind the firm is often key, right?
Absolutely. Understanding the leadership is key to understanding the firm. Marek, the managing partner, has a proven track record, having run an independent M&A boutique focused on this sector for over 9 years now. That demonstrates a deep and sustained commitment to Polish food and agri-M&A. His prior experience, over 25 years in corporate banking and advisory, including a significant tenure at Rabobank Polska S.A., heading up their structured finance and TMI and M&A departments, well, that brings a wealth of financial acumen to the table. His long-standing involvement on supervisory boards across various industries since the early 90s also adds a valuable layer of strategic oversight and governance expertise. Plus, his education, Warsaw School of Economics, and an executive MBA from Kellogg WHU further solidifies his strong foundation. He really sounds like a seasoned professional who brings a discreet and trusted perspective to complex deals.
That's a significant depth of experience, certainly. And Maciej Bąkałek, the project manager, what's his background?
So Maciej has been managing M2G's projects since 2018, building on his earlier experience as an analyst with the firm for 5 years prior to that. This long tenure with M2G provides continuity and a deep understanding of their specific methodologies and client focus. His internship at Rabobank Poland's credit risk department provides a valuable understanding of risk assessment within the financial sector too. And his M&A certificate from Columbia Business School, plus advanced studies in valuation and strategy, further enhance his technical expertise in deal execution. Like Marek, he's also a graduate of the Warsaw School of Economics. Together, they seem to represent a blend of deep experience and focused expertise, offering clients a high level of competence and, crucially, discretion.
It's clear there's a highly experienced and dedicated team at the helm. The materials also provide a snapshot of some of their selected projects in the food and agri market between 2010 and 2024. Now, we won't list every single one, obviously, but the sheer breadth of companies they've worked with, names like Indyk Poleseg, Realese, Conspol, Masbex, Lactopol, Krajowa, Grupa Spożywcza, Green Factory, Piotr, Ipawe, many others, it really underscores their extensive reach and deep engagement within the Polish food and agriculture landscape.
Absolutely. This diverse portfolio of completed transactions and advisory roles speaks volumes about their consistent activity and the trust they've earned from significant players across the Polish food and agri sectors. It's tangible evidence of their track record in, shaping strategic consolidation within the market. It's not just talk.
And it's not just domestic Polish companies either. The list of foreign food and agri players they've advised, including big names like Sumitomo Corporation, Vanda Mortelle, Lampman and Unibake, DeHayes, Lineage Logistics, that highlights their ability to facilitate cross-border deals and their credibility with international organizations looking at the Polish market.
Exactly. Their work with these international players underscores their ability to bridge different market cultures and provide valuable insights to global companies seeking to enter or expand their presence in Poland. It demonstrates their understanding of international deal-making within the specific context of the Polish food and agriculture sectors. They seem comfortable on both sides of the border, so to speak.
Finally, the list of selected financial sponsors they've collaborated with. We see names like Royalton Partners, Resource Partners, ARX Equity Partners, Nimbus. This further reinforces their experience in working with sophisticated investors who are, let's be honest, key drivers of M&A activity in this space.
Yeah, their track record with these financial sponsors demonstrates their understanding of these specific due diligence requirements and investment criteria of private equity firms and other financial institutions that are actively investing in the Polish food and agriculture market. It signifies a level of experience and sophistication that is pretty crucial for successful deal execution with those types of players.
Okay, so bringing all of this together, what is the core message for you listening in, whether you're an investor exploring opportunities, maybe a CEO charting your company's future, or even a future leader in the industry looking to understand the dynamics?
Well, I think the central insight is this. The Polish food and agriculture M&A landscape presents both significant opportunities and inherent complexities. Successfully navigating this environment requires a partner with deep, sector-specific expertise, a proven history of successful transactions, and a reputation for discretion and trust. Specialist advisors like M2G, led by experienced professionals like Marek and Maciej, seem to offer precisely this combination of focused knowledge, a strong track record, and an extensive network. They operate maybe as a kind of behind-the-scenes powerhouse, providing the strategic guidance and execution expertise needed to navigate complex deals and ultimately shape smart consolidation within this vital sector.
That's a powerful overview. As you contemplate the future of the food and agriculture sectors, perhaps think about what emerging trends you anticipate will fuel the next wave of strategic consolidation, and how might a focused and, importantly, discreet partner with deep market intelligence help you navigate those intricate dynamics? It's certainly a crucial question to consider.
Indeed. And for those of you actively exploring opportunities within the Polish food and agriculture M&A landscape, and perhaps seeking confidential discussion about how M2G could potentially support your strategic objectives, you can reach out directly to Marek, the managing partner. His number is +48 601 810 767, or via email at marek.komorowski@m2g.com.tl. You can also connect with Maciej Bąkowiak, project manager at +48 530 605 131, or maciej.pondeleg@m2g.com.pl. You'll find more information about their expertise and track record on their website at www.m2g.com.pl, and general inquiries can be sent to info@m2g.com.pl. These details will also be available in the show notes for your convenience. Thank you for joining us for this insightful deep dive.